Persons desirous of visiting an alien relative or to simply any of the clinics housed at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation will now be required to present a vaccination card. This information was relayed to this newscast by the Public Relations Officer of the corporation, Chelauna, Providence, during a telephone interview on Friday.
We are requiring that any person who is coming into the compound show their ID as well as their vaccination card, whether it be that they have one dose or both they're fully vaccinated.
According to Providence, only persons who are seeking emergency medical attention will be allowed to enter the compound without proof of vaccination.
And we are only bringing in persons without them showing proof of vaccination if it is an emergency, if that person is going to the emergency department. And in that case, they can only be accompanied by someone who can show.
Emergency patients refer to those patients who will be admitted to the accident and emergency unit. Providence divulged, however, that a visitor with an appointment will be allowed to enter the compound, but that person will have to present a negative PCR test produced within 72 hours from a testing site approved by the Ministry of Health. More so, persons who need to transact registration of births or deaths and those who have scheduled an elective procedure are urged to prioritize getting vaccinated in order to access services and care. Providence expressed the belief that these new policies are necessary to ensure that every person is protected.
We feel like this is, at this point in time, the best position that we can take to protect our staff and to protect the patients who are in the hospital.
However, while these policies may be new to the GPHC, several organizations across the country have already enacted the new measure. On August 3, a memorandum released by the Regional Health Officer of Region 4 indicated that all staff must show proof of vaccination or present a negative PCR test every 3 days. Further, various government offices such as the General Registrar's Office and the Ministries of Home Affairs, Foreign Affairs, Public Works, Agriculture, and Natural Resources have released notices that only vaccinated persons will be allowed, while the unvaccinated will have to make an appointment. The Ministry of Health has also issued a public advisory warning against the forging and selling of vaccination cards. It was previously announced by the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, that he has received reports of persons forging vaccination cards. According to the recent advisory, any person found guilty of forging vaccination cards will be guilty of felony and liable to 3 years imprisonment. Meanwhile, in responding to the new COVID-19 vaccination measures, former President David Granger, in a sideline interview at the Reed Lane ceremony marking the 36th dead anniversary of the late Lyndon Firms Barnum on Friday, said that Guyanese should embrace the vaccines as the way out of this pandemic. He, however, contends that the government is obligated to ensuring that persons are adequately educated about the vaccine before enforcement.
Because of government's own hesitancy from the outset, it has created anxiety and apprehension among members of the population. And the government must take responsibility for educating, engaging, and enforcing.
For the HGP 90 News, Kendell Richmond.